Okay. I've said output is data that has been processed into useful form called the information. Computers generate several types of output depending on the hardware and software used and depending on the requirements of the user. So this statement means depending on the requirements of the user may decide to use text data. The user may also decide to use data in form of audio, video, and very many others. And we've said that an output device is any type of hardware component capable of conveying information to one or more people. Conveying or displaying information to one or more people. And today commonly used output devices include display devices. We have display devices, we have printers, we have audio output devices, and others. As we shall see each device at its time in details. Now, while working with computers, the user encounters 4 basic categories of output. After looking at the different output devices, now we are seeing that while working with computers, the user encounters 4 basic categories of output. 1, we have what we call text output. With texts, we have characters that are used to create words, sentences, paragraphs, and so on. Another category is called graphics. With graphics, here we have data, non-text information, such as drawings. With drawings, we talk about drawings, pictures, and so on. And charts. We've been seeing information being displayed or conveyed in form of graphs and pie charts. So those ones follow under a category called graphics. Another category is called audio, where we have music, speech, or any other sound. And then lastly, we have the video output, where we have full motion images played back at various speeds. When you look at the picture, on your screen, you find that here, these are the categories I've been talking about. Here I have text, graphics, audio, video, after looking at the categories of hardware, the categories of output hardware, let us look at the devices, the output devices used to convey information or data to the users. And we said we have display devices, we have, what else? We have printers, we have projectors, we have the 8 mounted gears, and very many others. Here, when we talk about a display device or the videos, a display device is an output device that visually conveys texts, graphics, and video information. Yes? Am I too fast?
No, we are getting.
I thought I'm too fast.
Mm.
Whoever has a concern, you can raise your hand. Hope you know where to get that icon. Okay. I've said a display device is an output device that visually conveys text, graphics, and video information. So with display devices, you can visually have text information, or you can see information in form of texts. You can see information in form of graphics or non-texts. You can also have your information in form of videos. Information shown on a display device is often called soft copy. This is because information exists electronically and is displayed for a temporary period of time. Any information that exists electronically is what we call soft copy. When you print out the information, for example, I sent you the notes on the WhatsApp platforms. Those notes were in soft copy. After printing, what you get, that information turns from being soft copy to hard copy. Hard copy is that kind of information printed on a physical material, like the paper. Okay. Display devices are also known visual display devices. Commonly used display devices include the cathode ray tube monitors. We have the LCD monitors. We have the plasma monitors, the projectors, headgears, the light emitting display devices or diodes. Last time we looked at the monitors and we explained them, or we said that monitors are display devices which are used to display computer output. So information on display device is called soft copy. This is because it exists electronically, as I said before. Now, there are two types or kinds of monitors. We have what we call monochrome monitors, or those monitors with one color. And then we have color monitors. Remember the first screens, TV screens we used, they were in one color. That is black and white. But with time, colored monitors have been put in place. Disadvantages, you read them. Let's move very fast to cathode ray tube monitors. For those who were here last time, we looked at them, but I'm going to go through them briefly. Someone is texting me that some people are having challenges in joining the lesson. Just click on the link. Just use that link. Meanwhile, someone can forward that link for them to also join. A cathode ray tube monitor is a desktop screen that contains a large sealed glass cathode ray tube. Inside this cathode ray tube monitor, there is an electron beam that moves back and forth across the back of the screen. And this causes dots on the front of the screen to glow, producing an image on the screen. That's why when you switch on those cathode ray tube monitors or those monitors, they tend to produce light. So when they produce light, the screen displays. And we've seen that each dot consists of a red, green, and blue phosphor, which combines to make up a pixel. So in this, a pixel is a single point in any electronic image. Any single point is called a pixel. So that is the image of a cathode ray tube monitor. And one of the measures, or when we are using these monitors, we are always advised to sit at least 1 meter away from a cathode ray tube monitor, because they produce electromagnetic radiations posing health risks. Like your eyes can be affected by light produced by these monitors, since they produce electromagnetic radiations and they are not good for our eyes. So when we are using these monitors, we are always advised to sit at least 1 meter away from these monitors. Any question before we move on? For those who were not present last time, do you have any question? Okay. Let us look at the advantages of the cathode ray tube monitors. They can produce fast and reach out color sites. They can produce fast and reach out color sites. They can be viewed from a very wide angle. Now, when you are using these cathode ray tube monitors, you can view their screens at any angle, which is not the same with other screens. So if you're having a flat screen, just put that screen or just sit in any angle and see if you can be in position to view very well that screen. If you're using a flat screen, if you're using this cathode ray tube, you can also sit at a given angle and see and make comparison between the two. So for these ones, you can view their screens at any angle you're seated in. Compared to other monitors, with LCD monitors, it becomes very difficult for you to view from any angle. So you need to be seated in the middle of the screen in order to view very well. So they are also cheaper than the LCD monitors. These monitors are not as expensive as the LCD monitors. Disadvantages: they emit more electromagnetic radiations than the LCD monitors. And we said that these electromagnetic radiations affect eyes, the user's eyes. That's why we are advised to sit at least 1 meter away from the monitor. They consume more electricity than LCD monitors. That's why some people are still using these kinds of monitors. You're always told that please don't switch on the TVs during the time. Let us use the TV only at night. Reasons for that is to minimize the power consumption, because they consume a lot of power. They occupy more space. Since they are very big, they occupy more space. Another disadvantage: they don't break easily, especially when they get old or expired, or when they are no longer in use. It is not very easy to break these monitors into small particles, so they don't break easily, causing an environmental effects like soil erosion, soil exhaustion, and so on. Yeah, those are some of the advantages and the disadvantages of the LCD, sorry, the cathode ray tube monitors, these monitors. We are moving to another type of monitors called the flat panel displays. The flat panel displays. So a flat panel display is a lightweight display device with a shallow depth and a flat screen that typically uses the LCD, or what you call liquid crystal display, or gas plasma technology. When you look at the screens, sorry, the monitors we use in our lab, if you still remember those monitors, the LCD monitors, these monitors, we have these two kinds of monitors. This one is called the plasma monitor. It uses the plasma technology to display. And then this second one, which looks like the monitors we use at our school, these are called the liquid crystal display monitors, or the LCD monitors. So they use the liquid crystal display technology. Examples of flat panel displays, we have the LCD monitors and then the plasma monitors. So many wide screens, many are wide screens. So they are much wider than their height. When you look at their width is wider than their height. That's why they are called flat screens. And screens are measured diagonally from the corner to the other corner. For example, are you seeing the pointer? If this is my monitor or my screen, if I want to measure the size of this screen, I just place my tape measure here and I measure from this corner to this, from this corner to this, or from this corner to this. So these screens are measured diagonally from one corner to another. So common sizes, we have 17, 19, 20, 22, 24, 32, 45, 65-inch screens. Let me hope that you people have seen these screens before. Yes?
We've never.
Are you sure?
Yes, like me.
Who's that? Who is that who has never seen them?
Sheila.
Sheila. Have you ever visited our lab?
Yes.
We have this kind of monitor, this kind of screens on our computers. So this one is called the LCD monitor. Are you seeing the screen where my pointer is?
Yes, I can.
This is the LCD monitor. And then this second one is called the plasma monitor. Like those screens you have in your DH.
Yes.
Have you ever visited the DH?
Yes, I have ever.
What about the staff room?
Also.
So these are the kind of monitors we are talking about. Now, when it comes to advantages, these monitors consume less power compared to the cathode ray tube monitors that consumes a lot of power. That's why when we are looking at green computing, they were telling us that we should now opt for LCD monitors to reduce power consumption. 2, they occupy less space. They occupy less space. Another advantage, the radiation emitted is negligible. So depending on the user, the user's requirements. You can
One.
reduce. Today it is very easy.
Ibyo abantu bateraho bikaro bitanzure.
Shida, can you mute yourself?
Sorry, I didn't.
It's okay. I'm seeing people running away, coming back. What could be the problem? Okay, they occupy less space. The radiation emitted is negligible, so you can reduce. It is upon the user to decide on the amount of light to use. So you can easily reduce your light on your screen. So they are weightless, hence they are portable. They are not heavy. You can move with a flat LCD screen. You can move with the laptop. You can move with the pad. You can move with the, what else? So they are portable. They are not as heavy as the other cathode ray tube monitors. So displays sharp, excellent images. Hope when you look at my screen, let me hope that my images are sharp and excellent. Is everyone able to see whatever I'm displaying?
Yes, we can see.
Okay, disadvantages. However much they have advantages, they also have disadvantages. For example, they are usually more expensive. They are not as cheap as the cathode ray tube monitors. They can only be viewed from a narrow angle. So these ones are not like the cathode ray tube monitors that can be viewed in a wide angle. Here you need to be seated at least in the middle or just near the screen in order to view whatever is displayed very well. They can easily break. These screens are always, they can easily break. When you're handling them, you need to handle them with care, with extra care. After looking at the monitors, have we skipped any other type of monitor? We have the LED displays. The LED display is a flat panel display which uses light emitting diodes. As a video display, so it uses light emitting diodes. For the LCD and then the plasma TVs, they use the plasma technology, plasma screens. For LCD monitors, they use the pre-store display monitor, but these ones use light emitting diodes as a video display. Now, a LED panel may be a small display or a component of a larger display. So they are typically used outdoors in stores, signs, and billboards. Hope you have ever seen these billboards. Have you ever seen them on big stores or big supermarkets? Below is an image of a light emitting diode, which is another display device. Okay. After looking at the display devices or the monitors, we have other output devices. like the data projectors. Data projectors. We have the data projectors. So a data projector takes the image that it displays on a computer screen and projects it onto a large screen, or a wall, so that an audience of people can see the image clearly. Now, this is what a data projector does. It takes the image that is displayed on the computer screen and projects it on a larger screen. Are you getting this statement? Yes?
Teacher, me, I can't see the image.
You can't see the image. But
Yes,
are you
I'm
hearing?
just seeing words.
I'm saying,
Yes, I'm here. I'm hearing.
Are you getting this statement that says that it takes the image that it displays on a computer screen and projects it onto a larger screen? I'm talking about taking text image displayed on a computer, displayed on a computer, on a computer screen. So the projector does not have a screen. The projector itself does not have a screen. But what it does, it takes the image that is displayed on a computer screen and projects it on a large screen. It's like what I'm doing now. I'm projecting whatever is on my screen. It is what you're seeing on your screens, isn't it? So this is what a data projector does. It takes images that displays on a computer screen and projects it on a larger screen. We normally use the projectors when we have a bigger audience. When we have very many people, we want to see whatever we are displaying clearly. For example, many classrooms today use data projectors so that all the students can easily see an instructor's presentation on the screen. Today we have very many students in each and every class. If you want them to view your screen, I cannot come with my laptop and I sit in class and everyone can be in position to see whatever I'm displaying. But with the use of the projector, I can use that very small laptop with the projector for everyone to see clearly. So the presence of excess light affects data projectors, and so they perform well in dark rooms. They perform well in dark rooms. Any question, please? Should we move on? So that is how a projector looks like. So this is a projector. This is an image of a projector for those that have never seen a projector. After looking at the projector, we have another output device called the head-mounted gear, or what we call the head gears. So a head gear is made up of two tiny displays and sound systems that channel images and sound from the source to the eyes and the ears, thus presenting a stereo three-dimensional sound effect in the virtual world. So the wearer, I'm talking about someone who is wearing that head-mounted gear. So they normally wear that one. So the wearer may also put on a bodysuit, so that a bodysuit that senses the body movements and lays data into the virtual reality system, which in turn adjusts the position of the user in the system. For example, you're sleeping, you're putting on your screen on your face, you want to turn to another position. So you can be in position to, so it adjusts the position of the user in the system. In the system. So here we've seen that this device channels images and sound from the source to the eyes and the ears, thus presenting a stereo three-dimensional sound effect in the virtual world. So when you put it on, you may think that you are in a cinema hall, yet you are in your place, where you're free to see whatever whatever information is stored there or is put there for you. And we've seen that the user does not need to rotate or maybe stretch, just put on a bodysuit. It will adjust to the position of your user in the system. So this is an image of the edge-mounted gear. You see it has the screen, it has the earpieces or the earphones. It channels the images and the sound. Okay, after looking at these display devices, we have terms associated with display devices. With display devices, we have different terminologies that are being used. For example, we have what we call the resolution. This is the number of horizontal and vertical pixels in a display device. A pixel, we say a single point in any image is what we call a pixel. Now, here we are seeing that the number of horizontal and vertical pixels in the display device is what we call the resolution. Sometimes the resolution can be defined as the sharpness or clarity of an image on the computer's screen. The sharpness or clarity of an image. So in simple words, we can define resolution as the sharpness or clarity of an image on the computer screen. Now, higher resolutions uses greater number of pixels, thus provides a small, sharper, and clearer image. So resolution is measured in dots per inch, abbreviated as DPI. So they are measured in dots per inch. Now, dot pitch is another term that is being used in display devices. Dot pitch is also known as the pixel pitch. So this is the distance in millimeters between pixels on a display device. That person who is making noise or who has noise in the sound, you can mute yourself. Okay. Are you looking at the dots? These are what you call the pixels. These dots you're seeing in an image are what you call the pixels. Now, the pixel pitch or the dot pitch is the distance in millimeters between pixels on a display device. Now, text created with the similar dot pitch is easier to read. For example, when you look at these ones, you can easily tell that this is letter. Which letter is this?
B.
Letter B. Okay, thank you very much. Letter B. Now, after looking at the display devices, we have other output devices like the printers. So a printer is a device that produces hard copy output, such as text, graphics, on a physical material like a paper. So in this case, printed information is called hard copy. This is because it exists physically and in a more permanent form than the soft copy on a display device that exists temporarily. Okay? Who is this one? Maxensia. Can you mute yourself?
Yes. So,
Just mute yourself. Okay.
why?
We are getting some background noise from your side.
I'm sorry.
It's fine. Members, can we continue? Is there anyone with a question? Okay. Now, printers with different speeds, features, quality, and capabilities are available in a range of prices. So if you want printers with different speeds, printers that can print very fast, printers that are having all the features, printers that can produce high quality output are available in a range of prices. And these printers can be grouped into two categories. So they are also categorized into two. We have the impact and the non-impact printers. A non-impact printers form characters and graphics on a piece of paper by a striking mechanism against an inky ribbon that physically contacts the paper. So for these impact printers, for them to form characters and graphics on a piece of paper, they do that by a striking mechanism. They strike directly on the paper in order to form characters and graphics against an ink ribbon that physically contacts the paper. Impact printers are noisy because of the striking activity. So they are noisy. For those who have ever seen typewriters, when they are doing their work, they strike the paper when performing their activities. And we've seen that large businesses use impact printers because these printers can withstand the dust environments. They can withstand vibrations and extreme temperatures. When you move to bigger businesses like the printeries or the printing presses, like we have the Vision Group or the New Vision. We have other big printing companies like Marianum Press We have the Uganda Printing Corporation. So those ones use these kinds of printers. Reason, they can withstand dusty environments. Here in Uganda, there is no way you can avoid dust. Dust is everywhere. Vibrations, extreme temperatures, and commonly used types of impact printers include the daisy wheel, we have the dot matrix, we have the braille printers, and then the line printers. With daisy wheel printers, this is the kind of printer where characters are arranged on the ends of the spokes of the wheel. Characters are arranged on the ends of the spoke of the wheel. So usually the wheel is usually made up of plastics. So it is rotated to select the character to print, and then an electronically operated hammer bends the selected spokes forward slightly, squeezing in an ink ribbon between the character and the paper, as in the typewriter. For those who have access to typewriters, you can visit those places and you see how they perform their activities, how they use those typewriters. They strike directly on the paper to form characters and images. One of the advantages of this arrangement over that of the typewriter is that different wheels may be inserted to produce different typefaces of the font styles and sizes. So this is the kind of the daisy wheel. Their speed is low, their noise, and its disadvantages, their speed is between 20 to 90 characters per second, meaning that between 20 to 90 characters per every second, you can easily type these 20 to 90 characters depending on your typing speed. So compared to other printers, as we shall see them. Sorry. Now, after looking at the daisy wheel, we have another printer. Under the category of impact printers, we have a dot matrix printer. Dot matrix printer produces printed images when they are tiny wire pins on the print head mechanism. They strike an ink ribbon like a typewriter. When the ribbon passes against the paper, it creates dots and forms characters and graphics. So most dot matrix printers use continuous form paper in which thousands of sheets of paper are connected together end to end. So the papers have holes along the sides to help them feed the paper through the printer. So dot matrix printer provide cheap but low quality printing. So this is an example of a dot matrix printer. You see the holes on the paper. This is how it looks like. However much it produces cheap, but it produces low quality printing. Because when you look at this paper being printed, it's not as clean as any other paper printed by any other printer. Now, after looking at the dot matrix, we have the braille printers. Braille printer, commonly known as the braille embosser, is an impact printer that renders text as a tangible dot cells, which are felt and read by the blind. So the braille printers are used to print documents that are read and felt by the blind, those that cannot see. So using the Braille translation software, a document can be embossed with relative ease and efficiency. So they need special Braille paper, which is thicker and more expensive than the normal paper. So once a copy is produced, printing further copies is often quicker by means of a device called a thermal form. So which produces copies of softy plastics. This is the Braille printer. For those that have never seen it, this is how it looks like. Okay. Hope you have ever seen these plastic materials, plastic letters. They are normally sold in those geometry sets you normally buy. So they are printed by the Braille printers, and they have their special papers, and these papers are very expensive compared to the normal papers. Lastly, under the impact printers, we have the line printer. This is a high-speed impact printer that prints an entire line at a time. So it prints an entire line. It does not print the whole paper, but it prints the entire line at a time. So the speed of a line printer is measured by the number of lines per minute. It can print the number of lines per minute it can print. So some line printers print as many as 1,000 lines per minute. So mainframes, servers, or networked applications such as manufacturing, distribution, and shipping often use the line printers. So this is an example or an image of a line printer. This is how it looks like. That is the image of the line printer. The IBM line printer. After looking at the impact printers, those whose printing mechanism is by striking the paper. Now we have other printers called the non-impact printers. A non-impact printer forms characters and graphics on a piece of paper without actually striking the paper. For example, these usual printers we are using, they don't strike on the paper when they are forming characters. So they form characters and graphics on a piece of paper without actually striking on the paper. So some spray ink, while others use heat or pressure to create images. Commonly used in non-impact printers, we have the inkjet, those that use ink. We have the laser jet, those that use the powdered form or the powder. We have the thermal printers, we have the plotters, and then mobile printers. Let us look at the inkjet. An inkjet printer forms characters and graphics by spraying tiny drops of liquid ink onto the piece of paper. As the other ones strike, for these ones, just spray tiny drops of liquid onto the piece of paper. Next, we have again still on these inkjet printers. Is there anyone saying something? Okay. Inkjet printers produce text and graphics in both black and white color on a variety of paper types and sizes. So these inkjet printers are in position to produce both the text and graphics in both black and white colors and color on the variety of these different paper types and sizes. So the print head mechanism in an inkjet printer contains ink field print cartridges. Those containers where ink is inserted are called print cartridges. Each cartridge has very many small ink holes or nozzles. So the ink propels through the combination of the holes to form a character or an image on the paper. So they form these characters by spraying tiny drops of liquid of ink. So far, these are some of the examples. The inkjet printers. Those are the diagrams. The inkjet printers. Now, another type under the non-impact, we have what we call the laser jet or the laser printer. This is a high-speed, high-quality, non-impact printer, operating in a manner similar to a copier machine or a copy machine. So laser printers create images using a laser beam and powdered ink called toner. So that powdered ink is called toner, which is packaged also in a cartridge. So that container that contains that powder is what you call the cartridge. So when printing a document, a laser printers processes and store the entire page before they actually print it. So when printing a document, laser printers processes and stores the entire page before they actually print it. For this reason, laser printers sometimes are called page printers. That's why if you make commands when you're printing and you're having more than one page, like 10 pages, this printer has to first process all the pages before it starts to print, which is not the case with other printers that prints page per page. But this one first processes all the pages and then it starts the printing. So storing a page before printing requires the laser printer to have a certain amount of inbuilt memory. So storing a page before printing requires the laser jet to have a certain amount of inbuilt memory. So these printers have memories. So this is how a laser jet looks like. We have the step 1 sends an instruction to print a document. So you send using your computer. You see? So that is how it is designed. We have a set of rollers, we have the drum, we have the laser beam, as you're seeing them in the image. So this is what we call a laser jet. So this one uses powdered ink called toner. So that powdered ink is called toner. We have the thermal printers, and as another example of the non-impact. Thermal printer generates images by pushing heated pins against a coated heat-sensitive paper. So the coating turns black in the areas where it is heated, producing an image. So basic thermal printers are cheap, but the print quality is low, and images tend to fade over time. So their images tend to fade over time. So thermal printing technologies are, however, ideal for use in small devices like the ATM receipt printers, those printers that print the electricity bills. So this is how a thermal printer looks like. Another kind of printer, you have what we call the plotters. These are printers used to produce large, high quality vector graphic drawings, such as the blueprints, maps, posters, and signs. Those map extracts you normally use in geography are printed by plotters. The big images like the banners are also printed by the plotter. So these printers are usually very costly. They are usually very expensive and used in specialized fields such as engineering and graphic art. So they use the inkjet printer technology on a much larger scale to print professional quality displays. So they produce large, high quality and graphic drawings. So this is the kind of, this is the image of a plotter. So a plotter looks like that. You see the kind of image that is being printed. Are you able to see this image? Or this graphic that is being printed?
Yes.
Yeah, bigger than a meter. Okay, that is how a plotter looks like. So for those who get chances of visiting big printing presses like NASA Road, the New Vision, Marianum Place, you can visit those areas and see these machines or these types of printers because they are there. We have mobile printers. The mobile printer is a small, lightweight, battery-powered printer that allows a mobile user to print from a notebook computer, tablet PCs, the personal assistant, the personal digital assistants, smartphones, and other personal mobile devices while traveling. So they are easily fit in a briefcase alongside a notebook computer. Mobile printers mainly use inkjet, thermal, wax transfer, or dye sublimation technology. These days, I normally see these photographers moving with the mobile printers. They take pictures and produce them there and there. You people, have you seen them? Those are what you call the mobile printers. They are very small. Someone can even just move with it in the hands. Where they say we are taking passport express or passport photos, express photos. We just take and then it is produced there and there. So these are very small and they use a battery, or they are powered by a battery that allows the mobile user to print from a notebook. You normally move with a small computer, a small personal computer like a laptop, smartphone, a tablet, and so on. These are the mobile printers I've been talking about. This is the image of them. These are the terms associated with printers. With printers, we have what we call the toner. Toner is a powder used in the laser printers and photocopiers to form the printed texts and images on the paper. If you want to make these images or the texts on a paper, you have to be having a toner, especially when you're using the laser jet or the laser printers, those that use the powder. So that powder is called the toner. We have the dots per inch is a measure of the number of individual dots printed in a line within the span of 1 inch. We have hard copy. This is the permanent production. hard copy is the permanent reproduction on the form of a physical object of any media suitable for direct use, such as a paper. He said hard copy is that one that is produced on a physical object or a physical material like the paper. We have what we call page orientation. This is the way in which the rectangular page is focused on for normal viewing. And the two most common types of orientation are portrait and landscape. With portrait, you find that the height of the paper is higher than or taller than the width, with information printed across the shorter width of the paper. Find that the paper's height is higher than the width. Then with landscape, the width is bigger than the height. So that is landscape and portrait. After looking at the printers, we also have audio output devices. With audio output devices, these are components of the computer system that produce music, speech, and other sounds such as the beeps. And common audio output devices include the computer speakers, the PC internal speakers, the headphones and earphones. So those are the computer speakers. Hope you can see them. I think for today, we can have our lesson stopped there.